he was in a movie in 07 with Shirley MacLaine and Christopher Plummer, Stephen Amell. And that's what I was thinking of, I think.
I mean,
I think he plays like Shirley MacLaine's son.
Yeah. That checks out.
I don't know. I can't remember. I remember him showing up weirdly in like early in Arrow and showing up on Kelly and Michael to show them how to shoot arrows and talking about that movie.
Remember when that was like the biggest
that he was in? I don't remember.
That was like the biggest thing, and then he was on like Late Night with Seth Meyers, and then it just was like, okay, and they're done.
Yeah, they had him and Grant on because I can't remember on one of them. They like that's where they said like, oh, everybody says that Grant Gustin looks like baby Dick Van Dyke.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah,
it does make sense
because he's tall and lanky.
He's also, if you look at his face, it's kind of there. Like, it's,
it is. The shape is certainly there.
When since Arlen, you watched Flash, how tiny does Grant look when they're sitting in the silhouette with him and Diggle?
God damn, it's
hilarious. Diggle's like twice his size.
Diggle is a brick shit house. I love it so much. Remember when he was the Arrow for like half a season? That was great.
Yeah, because he's a goddamn beast.
He doesn't afraid of anything.
Oh, I know since we're probably never going to talk about CW stuff again, did anybody else watch Supergirl or care about Supergirl if I bring up something?
I have not yet.
I might watch
not the newest one, the first episode.
I don't really care on that.
The only show I'm watching is Kitchen Nightmares right now, so
only because in that and in Flash, they both say that there's no other universes. Period.
Yeah.
They straight up say that they're all gone. Because in Flash, it's a very
the ending of Crisis kind of suggests otherwise. So I think it's just that they can't see each other. I think that's what it is. They just can't.
Yeah, I think it was more like of a maybe these I don't know, I see what you mean, but it's like weird to have all these characters then say that.
Right.
Cisco straight up says that's why the things don't work anymore.
I think we're supposed to understand that for them, that's what it seems like, and that's why we're not going to have any crossovers. They're
in their own pocket now.
Yes, like there might be a Stargirl crossover at some point, but not.
Because it's weird because they specifically say Earth 2 is gone, and then that was called Earth 2.
Yes, exactly.
I'm still waiting for just some weird portal to open, and then Robot Man pops out, and you just hear Brendan Fraser look around, and go, "What the fuck?"
That show is so good.
It's great.
Geralt comes out and he's like, fuck.
And it goes right back in.
Yes. That's the entirety of the camera with him.
Yeah.
Fuck.
You'd finally get your dragon maybe in there.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Finally.
Although, didn't we say that you already did? Because there was a dragon in Legends.
Yes, there was. I fully believe that the writers were doing that specifically for me.
Yes, they were. They obviously were.
Yeah, they listen to the show. Hi, if you're still listening. What's up?
Yeah.
Sorry, we're not covering your shows anymore.
Yeah.
Thanks for still subscribing to the podcast.
Also, Lou, just because me, Hunter, and Connor aren't going to be on as much, it doesn't mean that you can't still review them. We're not banning you from doing it.
I know. I was just I'm just stating as a fact too, because I know since you watched it, I also found in that map interesting that they put Freeland in Atlanta and didn't make it Detroit.
Yeah, but I understand.
Very surprising. Join. I'm still looking for people because it's hard to have people who want to join up with this.
For certain shows, I would do it. I would jump on. I just I can't carry the load and host and edit and post. I just don't want to do any of that.
So for the moment, I would still probably handle the editing on Comics on TV, unless John feels up to it.
I have to still practice a little Audacity editing with myself.
Yeah, so
it's really not difficult.
It's just I don't doubt it is. It's just that's my one thing is time.
Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't mind doing that because it's not less editing or more editing than what I'm already doing right now.
Yeah.
So,
Like my favorite part of Audacity is you can select all and truncate silence.
yeah.
And you can just get rid of like all like weird dead air.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, what was I gonna say? The map is interesting. I went on Reddit because I was trying to find a picture of it, and someone's like, "Do people on CW not realize that where they put Happy Harbor is Nova Scotia?" Because I think they put it like really far up north.
What
Yeah.
basically mean?
Yeah, which
Essentially.
do we visited Happy Harbor, or is that just where Ryan is from? Troy.
I don't know if we've actually seen Happy Harbor.
Where did Oliver and Felicity move at that one point when they were in the burbs?
Oh, I have no idea.
Happy Harbor. It was where was it?
Was it where Adam is originally from?
Well, clearly, his son opened up a void inside of himself, and they moved.
There's a lot of interesting stuff. Like in my head, Metropolis was East Coast, so it was really weird to see it being West Coast, even though they filmed so much in LA.
Metropolis is supposed to be in Kansas.
Well, yeah, it's supposed to be like. The thing is, like, Metropolis is Toronto, really. Yeah. Like, because those guys are Canadian. The guys that made Superman are Canadian,
right?
So exactly. It's based over Toronto.
I'm just saying, in the context of the show, it was always in an East Coast city to me. And the town where Kara and Alex grew up was an East Coast city. So it's interesting making it so definitively West Coast.
I read some weird shit once that Gotham City is supposed to be in New Jersey.
Oh, no.
It is supposed to be in New Jersey.
In the actual DC Comics, it is officially in New Jersey.
Yeah. It's in Jersey there, and it's in Jersey in The Dark Knight Rises. That's where they confirm that it's Jersey.
Yeah, we get Batman.
That's why at some point before Nightwing went to Bloodhaven, he was actually in New York for a while when they tried to do real cities for a minute.
Yeah.
He was in New York. But yeah, Gotham is supposed to be where like Jersey City is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a weird universe where New Jersey is the big deal.
What's like weird? It's like both of them are big, and it's
because we are a big deal. How dare you?
Yeah,
a bigger deal.
Better.
Hey, our governors can shut down all bridges that they want.
That's true. They can do that.
Yeah, and we have an opioid crisis.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so does
and
everybody.
Then you can just walk into Pennsylvania, and
But nobody wants to walk into Pennsylvania. It's not a real place.
I live here, and I don't want to walk to Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania is like Philadelphia, and then Pittsburgh, and then it's just like no man's land.
No, it's like they took Kansas and dropped it.
There's a nickname for it. They call it Pennsatucky.
Pennsatucky.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania is Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, and then the rest of it is East Bumblefuck, USA.
Yeah,
that's not necessarily incorrect.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, you can say that about New York though too. It's like there's New York City, the 5 boroughs, and the rest is basically Canada.
Basically.
Yeah, and I mean that's really Manhattan is what you want to if you want to get it down to a fine-tooth comb, and then the rest of New York. So,
I mean, I've been to the Alamo and Yonkers, so I'm like, yeah, Yonkers, but that's it.
Yeah.
But speaking of movie theaters, hey Hunter, how about that Sonic movie might be actually good?
I don't know what I'm gonna do in a world where there's a good Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
I kind of didn't want it to be horrible because I listened to the podcast with those guys. So
I don't want it to be bad either because I have an affinity for some Sonic stuff, not the games, but the comic book stuff.
Listening to the book, what was it, Console Wars? I was like, oh my god, I fucking love Sega. And I was like, it just makes me so hyped for Sega.
Well, you might not love Sega when you find out all about their Yakuza connections.
Oh, well, they're Japanese. Like every Japanese company has Yakuza connections.
There's a really great story about how there was a developer who I guess they kidnapped his sister, and like they were like, we'll finish this game blah 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 on time and we'll let her go. So the developer stole like an arcade cabinet and like somehow had access to a crane and like dropped it in front of Sega headquarters in order to like try to scare him off. Yeah.
Damn.
That's crazy.
Oh, there's like, I try to remember, if you ever heard of Pride, the MMA company that used to exist.
Yeah.
They were Japanese and they were legitimately just Yakuza. And so Rogan's had people on to talk about it. And when the UFC bought them, they're like, oh, we got like, it took them a while. They went back and forth like, oh, we'll have Pride guys fight in the UFC and vice versa. And they would always back out. And then UFC finally bought them. And then they're like, oh, all these contracts are super illegal. And then one of the guys, I can't remember his name, he's like a Samoan guy, and he said, yeah, legitimately, like in their contracts it said explicitly, we do not test for drugs of any kind. And they were like, oh, you're like a 210 pound, or like you're like you fight at 180, do you think you can make heavyweight at like 160? He's like, no. It's like, well, we don't test, so you can kind of figure yourself out there.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, if that movie ends up being good, I'll be shocked. I mean,
I kind of want it to be good because I feel like there's a chance we could get onto a streak here because Pikachu was much better than it deserved to be.
I think that's the only video game movie coming out that year.
Right. But
well,
still, like, that could be the beginning of a streak. Do you see what I mean? Like, it was the beginning of a streak.
Monster Hunter can continue that streak.
Yeah, it could just come in and sink that streak right before it begins. Demolish it.
I said this earlier, but we should take Paul W.S. Anderson like behind the dumpster and then just beat him with pool noodles.
We need to send him to a re-education camp. where they Clockwork Orange him, but with like good cinema technique. So he's relearning how to use a camera and how to decide shots ahead of time and all of the basics of filmmaking.
You mean learn how to do an actual movie making idea?
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. How did Event Horizon happen then?
Well, accident.
That's the thing.
Cocaine.
Like, you watch anything after the first Resident Evil movie and you're like, did he die? And did somebody else take over his body or take over his life?
Hold on. To be fair, Death Race is not a bad movie, I don't think.
I've seen like bits of Death Race and it's fine. It's aggressively fine, I would argue.
I assume it's just Jason Statham being Jason Statham in a car.
For Paul W.S. Anderson, fine equals pretty good.
Sure. And I say this as like the one person on earth who defends AVP, but even that movie's like it's a giant piece of crap.
It's fun and it does some good mythos things.
Yes, it does good. And there are some moments where he really nails it, but like,
and then Resident Evil Afterlife happens, and we just go. Whew.
Yeah, and it's so much like CG crap.
I just don't understand.
He is still married to her.
Oh, they are still? Because I was like, because that's like all she does now, right? Does she do anything else?
Well, she tried not to.
She did this movie with like De Niro.
Ultraviolet?
I do give her credit for trying to do other stuff and like putting her name on directors' work that are like maybe lesser known.
I forgot she was in. I forgot she was in Hellboy.
Yep,
she was in Hellboy.
I said that and I completely forgot. She's the villain in Hellboy. Oh no,
what makes it worse is she's not bad.
None of the acting is bad in it. It's just it's not a movie. It's like 5 episodes of Sci-Fi Channel.
Man, I'm just gonna say, I'm looking at the Monster Hunter cast. I'm sad. Like Tony Jaa, Ron Perlman.
Ron Perlman will do any movie if you give him enough money.
True.
Yeah, he's been in like 7 bad Nicolas Cage movies.
Well, that's a lot of actors.
Hey, you gotta keep the lights on, dude.
Mm-hmm. Like, I think of all people, Ron Perlman doesn't have to worry too much about keeping the lights on.
He was on what that show for years, wasn't he? As well.
Which one?
Beauty and the Beast?
No, Jesus Christ! I meant the
Sons of Anarchy.
Sons of Anarchy. I don't think he has to worry about money, but I do think that. I bet he has debts and like mortgages.
Well, I bet he's been divorced a couple times.
True.
I feel like that's the answer to anybody that does shitty movies is how many times have they been divorced?
Right. I mean, Bruce Willis, he's got to pay that Demi Moore alimony. Or no,
Well,
she got
but
married.
the thing is, then she has to pay that to Ashton Kutcher.
Right, exactly.
Vicious cycle.
Oh, Ron Perlman got divorced this year, so you know what? Or last year, rather. Excuse me.
Yeah.
They've been married since 1981. Huh.
Oh wow.
Oh.
But yeah, But yeah, he's been doing like he did a bunch of good stuff, and then he's been in some trash. But he's also like one of those guys. I've literally heard him in interviews being like, "Yeah, I'm the franchise killer." He said that because he's like, "Yeah, I did Blade 2," and then they did the next one went off the rails and the franchise died.
He was.
I
Also
don't know
in
if I believe
Phantom.
him.
He's been behind a couple cartoons I remember growing up with as a kid.
Yeah,
well, he has a great voice.
He's iconic. Yeah.
No, he's Slade. He's in Danny Phantom. He's in Avatar.
Yeah.
Well, he's a gigantic dude from Jersey who has a very specific face and voice.
He was Sinestro at one point.
He looks like a Persian cat. Yeah,
he's very similar to what's his face, Clancy Brown, where he's like very iconic voice, and he's like he shows up.
Yeah, well, it's funny, Eric, that you said that because he's played cats in 2 different things. He was in Beauty and the Beast, and then he was in The Island of Dr. Moreau.
Oh yeah, he was.
Oh god, he was.
And he was a cat.
Directed by Color Out of Space director.
No, it wasn't really directed by him.
I know. I'm being sarcastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which has that come out yet on digital, or is it available on DVD?
Well, actually, let me check for you because I thought it did, and I don't know now.
I was gonna see it in the theaters that
I thought it came out this
time that
month.
I showed you
On digital.
But I ended up going to work that day because fuck me, I guess. Fuck my life.
So February 25th.
Oh, okay, we got a bit then. Yeah. I'm hoping it's as good as the reviews have said. I'm hoping this is Richard Stanley returning to Hollywood.
I'm excited for more Lovecraft, straight up adaptations of Lovecraft, because there's a lot. There are a lot of obscure, off the cuff takes that are like, let's do Lovecraft, but through this lens. But
oh, you mean like Underwater or whatever that movie is with what's her face, Kristen Stewart?
Sure. And I can't remember the director's name, but the guy who did fuck, why am I forgetting? Reanimator, that guy. He did
Stuart Gordon.
Yeah, he did a lot of them, but my understanding is that he really didn't do many that were straight adaptations. Maybe
we don't straight adapt H.P. Lovecraft because there's some stuff you could leave.
Well, there's certain stuff you can leave out. I agree, but I still want Mountains of Madness really badly.
Yeah.
What you want him to cut out cat?
I just I feel like a lot of that stuff is just unfilmable though.
Some of it is. Some of it's
have you ever seen have you ever seen Del Toro's Penguin?
The description alone was just insane.
There's a picture.
Really?
They built one and it's in something of his.
Huh.
Yeah.
No, I didn't even know they got that far.
Yeah, because they put it on it was at LACMA. It was part of his
it was part of his display of all of his monster stuff at some event.
Yeah.
And it was just there, and there was nothing around it. There was stuff. There was no writing. This is what this is from. It was just there, in the background. People were is that the fucking penguin from Mountains of Madness?
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't like it. Scary.
It's not good.
It's I'm trying to remember. It's translucent-y.
I think
I've got it right in front of me.
Yeah,
I need to.
Yeah, my internet's just being super slow.
It's got Albino Penguin console art 2012.
Yeah, I found it. I just dropped it in the chat.
Oh God.
Yeah, I have a closer up picture.
I like the big pimple it has.
Yeah, the pustule.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's unpleasant.
Fucking creepy. Lou, that podcast, that's one of my favorite episodes.
Of that show. Yeah, it's so good. Because they did there's 3 back to back where they did the horror movie stuff, because it was that one, The Thing 2, and White Zombie, where I was like, why did these fucking movies not get made? This sounds fucking awesome.
The Thing 2 podcast was like, make that now.
Angry. I was
make
so
that as a
angry.
Netflix series right now. 5 episodes.
Oh, it's such a good idea, and I was like, why did they go with that other bullshit over this?
Well, does White Zombie accurately burn through the witches and dig through the ditches?
It was actually it was Toby Hooper that was supposed to do White Zombie.
Yes, it was Toby Hooper, and they were gonna do White Zombie basically, but it was just gonna be updated.
Yeah.
And it's sort of they were gonna sort of mix things up a little bit so that the voodoo actually led to a disease that kind of did like more modern zombie stuff. Like it was kind of
it was like a
genre.
It was like it was an STD, right? Kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah, he like turns his like wife or whatever into a voodoo zombie, but then he continues having sex with her, and that gives him like an STD that you would because you can't get diseases from having sex with dead things. Mm-hmm. And like he goes to the guy, and it's like, oh no, you're just infected. You're fucked.
Yeah,
like what do you think is going to happen?
Elements of it appeared in other movies. Like there's bits of Dead Girl in there, from what I could tell, and so it's interesting.
Yeah, like
I wasn't as super hyped on that one, but again, The Thing, like make it right now. Just same script. You don't need to change anything. It's set in the 90s, and setting it in the 90s would almost be better. Because it's so like removed from now, and
it would work so much better without having all the advents of modern technology. Like that's the only way I think something like that could work properly at this point.
I don't know, the way they describe it, I still think it could work in modern times because like it hits like two different spots, doesn't it? Like because they bring part of it to Russia.
I think the problem that the internet gives you is the moment Reddit hears about The Thing, everybody just stays inside. Right there. Like they just like nobody leaves their house.
But the thing is, then but then you can play off that and say like, oh, that's just like conspiracy theory, fake news. No one believes that stuff. Sure. Especially if there's events going on in like, you can make it either Russia or China, and it's like, oh, you're gonna believe that government? Like they put out a bunch of false stuff, or that government's not sharing the information.
Yeah, I mean, and there are other interesting. They could. Like the one detail in the adaptation of World War Z that I liked, that I think is from the book, is the whole thing of the North Koreans taking their teeth out. There are aspects like that you could apply to The Thing, where it's like North Koreans tell everybody to stay inside, and they just do. Like, stay inside, stay in your own room, don't touch your family member, and they just would.
Yeah, you say this, but like to go to real life. So I have to like the 3 a.m. stuff. Apparently, like. Everywhere else in the world does not believe it for a fucking second the numbers that China is giving out about the coronavirus, and they think it's up to 10 times the numbers that they're saying.
I mean, yeah,
Jesus Christ,
sure,
yeah. So it's like what you can't, certain types of things like that you just can't control. Like
you
once
can't
it's
control
out,
certain stuff.
Because that's the whole thing. Like of the thing, it's like it's a small population. Once you hit any sort of population center. It's over.
Well, the moment they said that it was New York is like, yeah, of course they're fucked. Like, New York's the center of the modern world. Like,
well, yeah, I think because the one lands in like what they get, it ends up crashing in New Mexico or something.
That's like, and that's the one. Like, that's one of the things that bothered me about The Strain is that the vampire picks the perfect. He picks the perfect place to start his infection, and things barely break down very quickly at all. Like, it takes forever for things to get really, really bad.
It takes until a nuclear weapon is set off for things to get really bad, which is ridiculous.
And that's why, like, I love, and it's not the greatest movie, but like 30 Days of Night is such an interesting idea and works so well, because it's like, it takes like nothing and everything is fucked. It's like, oh, it turns dark. So everyone's fucking dead.
I love that movie so much.
Yes.
You see the whole town just like falling apart and imploding. That movie's so good.
It's a shame that blonde Eliza Dushku doppelganger didn't really get a whole lot of work after that movie.
Yeah,
because it's Josh Hartnett, her, the guy that's in the really bad.
Slade is there as the sidekick.
Oh yeah,
he's the dude who like kills his own family.
Yeah, and then he throws himself in like the wood chipper thing or whatever it is.
As
he's slowly turning. I know we need to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then one of the vampires is the guy that plays in the bad Wolverine movie. He's Stryker.
Yes, Danny Houston.
Yes. He's like the head vampire guy. They speak Russian or something in it.
They speak like they do speak like Eastern European sort of thing.
And their design is so goddamn good too.
It's his eyes in that movie,
because they're just black and they have like the weird like
protruding teeth.
Yeah.
And he talks about like they were observing videos of like sharks when they were doing that
isn't what's his name in that too that played Angel?
David Boreanaz?
No, not Angel from Buffy. Angel from X-Men 3.
Oh,
isn't he the guy that they throw in the jail?
Yeah, you're right. I think it is.
No, wait. No, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah. It totally is. Yeah, he's
the familiar. He's the bait.
He's the Renfield.
Yeah. They're coming. They're gonna. There's nothing you can do to stop them.
Doesn't he die like really bad?
He gets crushed.
I was gonna say, don't they crush his head or something?
I think they crush. Yeah, they do. They crush his head. He did. So I've watched that movie with commentary many times, and in order to like get the sense of pain that you have from being shot, he stuck his own foot into a bear trap.
What? No,
at like low intensity, but like with like the springs turned down or whatever. But like,
here's the thing about bear trap. It doesn't matter what high, low, medium.
Or not bear. I think it might have been a wolf trap, but still, like one of those.
Doesn't matter. Basically. It's still gonna hurt.
It's gonna hurt. Yeah, that's the point, though. He was like, I need to feel the pain, and it's insane. Ben McKenzie's amazing.
Do you really for that?
I don't think he did. I don't think he really needed to, but Ben McKenzie, he can do whatever he wants, as far as I'm concerned.
That's some Leonardo DiCaprio for The Revenant type shit going on there. Like, dude, this isn't gonna win you an Oscar. Like, I think you can act like you've been shot.
Not for that movie, at least. He definitely. We don't have a topic, obviously, but we're already going.
I watched the first episode of Lock and Key tonight.
Was that any good?
Yeah, I'm interested to hear what you think about it.
I mean, I'm a big fan of the comic, so I'll say that before going in. But it definitely feels very, for lack of a better term, Disneyfied. Like there's an edge of like horror to it, but
it felt like a spookier Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Hell yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, that's what the promo stuff kind of looks like to
Mr.
me.
Tumnus there.
What's that?
There's Mr. Tumnus there.
Yes.
It's just James McAvoy as Mr. Tumnus again.
Yeah. But
it is insane that
no, it's not James McAvoy. That's too expensive to get him. It's the guy from Epic Movie, if you remember that little chestnut.
Jesus. Yeah, there's some real fundamental issues I have with characterization in the movie, mainly, or the TV show. Like, it's not a spoiler to say that like their dad is killed, and that's why they're moving to the Key House.
Right.
I think that was in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, it is. Or
it's in the trailer. Yeah, it's in the trailer too.
That's part of the premise. I didn't know that. So yeah.
Like, mom seems completely fine after watching her husband die in front of her, like traveling with these 3 kids, and just like, oh yeah, we're gonna make the best of this. Like, lady, how are you out of bed at this point? Like,
right.
Yeah, people react differently. Maybe if they address it, that's the thing. If it gets addressed that she's just like bearing it all.
But that was the thing in the comics. Like she was a mess, and then she was an alcoholic, and then she was an alcoholic mess. Like it. I don't know, and I'm not trying to be that person that's like, oh, it's not like the comic, but like there are some things that if this is going to be your pilot episode, like I'm kind of worried about where you're going to go with it. Like I don't see how you're going to do the things that happened in the comic.
Right. I mean, I haven't seen it yet, but hearing that, it makes me think maybe this should never have been adapted, because this is the third try, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, and that's the thing. The one that had what's his face? The guy who was the second version of young John Connor, the one that was in Terminator 3. I can't remember the actor's name, but like, thank you. He was in the adaptation that was supposed to be actually pretty accurate to like just the first issue of the comic, and it never got picked up, and I don't know why. Like, was it that Carlton Cruz didn't like it, or what? Like,
I wonder if it was just that time period. Like, when was that made?
Probably like 6 years ago, 7 years ago.
Yeah, that's a different world. Like, that's the beginning of those like Netflix Marvel shows, which kind of I think really changed the game for like adapting stuff for the streaming services and like having like that type of show. That's like early Game of Thrones. It's like early of like TV becoming as big, if not bigger, than movies in some ways.
Peak television.
Exactly. Yeah. Like that's the thing. I think MTV was originally going to put it out. If I remember correctly.
That's a weird.
Yeah, I might be misremembering it, but I'm pretty sure MTV definitely was in the running to air it at one point, and like there was even, I think Netflix was supposed to pick it up, and they didn't at the time, or they optioned for it or something. I can't remember. But yeah, regardless, Lock and Key. I mean, watch it. Maybe you guys will like it better than I did, but I wasn't that impressed with the first
never
episode.
read the comics, so I'm going to be looking at it more as a kind of
pure entertainment value.
Yeah. That's when I haven't read the comics, and like Umbrella Academy, I watched the show first, and then I went to the comics, and I liked the show a lot, and I like the comics, but they're too disjointed for me, like compared to the show. So like I like the narrative of the show so much more.
Right.
I get that.
Yeah.
You're wrong.
How dare you?
I personally like the Umbrella Academy comics more than I like the show, but I definitely enjoyed what I watched of the show. I never got around to finishing it.
Like I feel like the comic like doesn't like it drops you in too much. Like you're like
I haven't read the comic either, but
it's unapologetically Gerard Way trying to do his imitation of Grant Morrison, and not understanding that you can't just go into Morrison weirdness without having an established base.
Yeah, it's like X-Men, Doom Patrol smushed together, but like after like you jump into the story like after it's been going for 10 years.
Yeah, or even like just 7 issues. Yeah. Yep.
Speaking of Gerard Way, I just want to say, fuck the scalpers who got those damn My Chemical Romance tickets, and you all suck and go to hell. Thank you.
I hate a lot of that stuff is bot driven. Like I was trying to my wife,
because like I was in line, then I got kicked out, and then I had to go back in. I had to wait, and then by the time I got there, it was like $2,000 a ticket, and I'm like, I hate this.
Wait, why did you get kicked out?
I don't know, just some weird glitch on my computer.
Oh, on your computer. Oh, yeah, because I was saying, like, I was trying to do kind of the same thing with sneakers today. Me, my wife, and my brother-in-law. And my brother-in-law was saying, like, yeah, people build bots to just click on them, like, if there's not a raffle. And so they sold out, like, instantly. So it was, like, instead of now, like, $200 for a pair of Jordans, they're going to go online for, like, $700.
Oh, easily. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was, like, we were trying to buy 2, one for me for, like, as a birthday gift, and then sell the other one. And
what Jordans were they?
They were. I'll find them. They just came out, but they look like the classic ones.
Okay, so they're the red and white colorway.
Yeah, the red, white, and black. I like, and they were like the old school high tops. Like they were my shoe. Like I was like, you're gonna love these, and I did. Well, I love like those old school Jordans.
I can share a couple sites with you that might be Chinese manufacturers that do
I wonder if
as
they'll
good as
make
the
it
real
into
thing.
the country, right?
Yeah, well, I know a few of them that I follow have definitely said like, "Hey, we've had to hold off on releasing stuff because of the virus." But yeah, there's definitely some really high quality bootlegs out there.
I've gotten like jerseys, like football jerseys and basketball jerseys from those sites, and like one of the ones at football jerseys, like I think we ordered like 20 of them, like between me and my friends, and because like the more you order, they drops the price down, and they were like legit awesome.
Yeah. The sites I go to, it's exclusively shoes, and it's like Air Jordans, Yeezys, Off Whites, and like one or two others, but it's primarily like Nike and Jordans.
All right, yeah, definitely let me know, because like it's always like hard for me to get shoes because I have like really weird wide feet, so like I need like really good basketball shoes, or I end up having to wear like Vans style like skater shoes, which I don't like.
That's because you're a poser. So
yeah,
it's because I can't. I've never been able to use a skateboard ever.
Just you're not allowed by law.
Yeah.
Physics.
If a cop sees you with a skateboard, you're gonna get shot.
You're done. You're done, son.
It's over.
So Hunter, you watched Wrinkles the Clown.
Yeah.
Did you guys already talk about this, or did
No, not yet.
Okay.
I was waiting for you to get out here because you've also seen it. So yeah, I don't know if you've seen it, but that goes in a direction I was not expecting.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely worth the watch. I've got to admit though, like I got kind of bored near the end. Like
yeah, I did too.
Yeah. Like
Florida man dresses up as clown, scares children.
Yeah. He does. He does do that, doesn't he? Okay, like if you're a parent and you do that to your kid, fuck you.
Right.
That's the worst.
Yeah, it's like the people that participate in the Jimmy Kimmel pranks. Fuck you.
That's one of the things they bring up during this documentary is that like there are parents who just threaten their kids with the idea of them hiring Wrinkles, and you hear these voicemails of parents calling him and kids screaming no in the background because they're like, I'm gonna have to call Wrinkles, I'm gonna have you come over here and take care of these kids, and they're just like, no. So like they're just doing all this terrible psychological harm to their children just because they've got a number for a horrific looking clown.
Yeah.
Fucked up.
Yeah.
And that's more than the harm that they're already probably doing to their
kids.
Just by being parents.
They're doing, since they've been so lenient or just letting their kids do whatever, now it's just they have the exact opposite where they have to come down real hard, and you're just creating monsters. You're just creating more Donald Trumps, essentially.
Good job.
Yeah.
Proud of you.
I mean, yeah. I feel like we hit a wall there just right now. Just don't know where to segue from that.
I'm watching Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
Oh, awesome!
Yeah,
where are you doing it?
So I am currently following the chronological order that StarWars.com came out with. So that's been a big help, and I'm currently on
because it jumps around, which is really weird.
Yes, and I'm currently on. I think it's either Voyage of Temptation. I'm on, which is the second in the Mandalore plot trilogy.
Okay, which is awesome because like all that stuff gets picked up in Rebels. Like exactly, like
that's
it all
cool.
Gets picked up directly into Rebels.
But I did find it funny that it was in the first episode it's Jon Favreau as the bad guy and it's the Darksaber. I'm like, gee, I wonder where you got the idea.
Oh, yes.
Also, did you get to Darth Maul?
No, I am not near that yet.
Sam Witwer's a fucking monster in that show.
Dude, I just beat Days Gone. I just beat Days Gone with Sam Witwer in it. He's so good in that game.
He kills it.
Oh, well, he was. What the fuck was his name? Because he's in the show.
Supergirl.
No, he's in. Yes, but he was also in the other show in season 9. as Doomsday.
Yes.
And that's like it's like the really bad.
What was his Davis Bloom?
Yeah, Davis. He's one of the 17 men who what's her name dates that ends up becoming a bad guy. Like it's the trope of the show.
It's at that point it's like
Sam Witwer has slowly become one of my new favorite like voice actor people.
Yeah.
He does a ton of shit too.
Yeah. Sam Witwer's cool.
Hello?
We can hear you. Sorry, we were just
Thank God.
Yeah.
No, Discord was telling me my microphone wasn't working again.
Oh, yeah.
Let me do that again.
Hey.
After 10,000 years.
Yeah. We've just been recording for like I don't know, so we're not really doing like a official start. So hey.
Yeah. We just roll and start into this. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Oh God, you guys didn't even do intros? Jesus.
No, fuck that.
No, man.
No, God.
No.
That's the title of the episode.
So basically, if Connor or I aren't on initially, you guys don't know how to introduce yourselves.
No, I just think none of us cared enough. None of us were like,
I'll put it this way.
Jerry's running this podcast.
I'll put it this way. If you haven't been listening by this point, then sorry, you have to go back and listen to our voices to introduce ourselves somewhere else.
If you can't tell who I am by my voice at this point, fuck off.
We also missed like 25 minutes of Ninja Turtle talk that we didn't record.
Oh God damn it! Why not?
Well, because we thought it was pre-show. Then I was like, we should start recording this because.
Why not?
All I'm just saying is that Hunter and I want to do a Smallville Chronicles offshoot with the Ninja Turtles.
It wouldn't be Smallville Chronicles. It would just be the Phantom Zone.
It would be Phantom Zone pizza time.
Like it would. That's like saying.
I just thought of the best.
Arlen, there are layers to this podcast. Okay,
There
it has to be Phantom Zone presents Smallville.
How dare you evoke Shrek to me? I know the old magic. I was there with
Lou, we could name this hypothetical podcast literally anything because you have a bunch of stuff you can pick from Turtles in Time because all those level
I was
names
just
are
going to say you
perfect.
should just call it Turtle Soup.
I mean,
I was going to call it Alley Cat Blues.
We should, or we just call it Phantom Zone presents Smallville Chronicle presents.
I would just like DC.
A Smallville Chronicles production.
Right. Yeah. But we should release 2 number 1s
in association with the Phantom Zone.
Exactly.
It would be like Arlen Haro presents Phantom Zone.
Arlen Haro presents Lost Haro presents the Phantom Zone presents.
No, it would be Arlen Haro presents in association with Lost Haro, a Phantom Zone production of the Small Zone.
Have you
a
not
Phantom Zone
seen
production of the Smallville Chronicles with association for Movie Dumpster?
Yes.
Have you not seen like the Joe Hill label for his DC Black Label comics?
The worst.
It's so many things because it's like DC Comics presents Joe Hill presents a DC Black Label and then the title.
Oh wow,
The worst.
And he has like 6 books. I think.
Joe Hill has a comic book coming out in DC.
Oh no, he has a line. It's like
line.
6.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Yeah. Because
when you're the son of the dude who got high and wrote all the other shit,
all of his
that's
movies?
what happens.
DC. I don't know what's going on at DC.
My God, the logo in the corner of this
signs
book is ridiculous. It's like DC Black Label Joe Hill House Comics.
It's like, come on, that's not branding. That's not how branding works. That's just like.
Well, according to DC, that's exactly how branding works.
Yeah. If you look at just the Marvel films, what are the brands? There's a Marvel logo in there, and then there's the logo for the character. That's it.
Yep.
There's nothing.
Which is funny because like they are trying at DC. They got rid of all labels except for it's the regular Black Label and shit. What's the young thing? There's like a kids label.
Young Animal?
Yeah.
DC Kids.
No, Young Animal's gone.
Rip.
Yeah. No, Young Animal's going to be back, but I think it's going to be under Black Label.
It's under Black Label. It's the Wonder Comics one, I think.
Black Label. Fucking Black Label. I'm still pissed about this. You get rid of
pissed.
Vertigo? Like, just and you just like you just throw it.
Yeah, what they should have done is just not done Black Label and then thrown everything under Vertigo.
It's for a label that
Exactly.
you don't give a shit about, because like the first chance you had to do something that was pushing the envelope with like the whole bat dick thing, they completely backpedal. They're like, no, we took it out of there.
Yeah,
but like you can't even fucking commit to your own premise.
The thing is though, it's like I've bought Black Label books, like they're just like high quality books. So they're just like $7 books that are bigger and thicker and have better quality paper. And I'm like, okay.
I know, but they gave the impression that Black Label was going to be the more adult themed stuff.
It is like in the White Knight one, like I think it's one of them. There's like a lot of sex and like there's sex, there's cursing, and there's like brutal violence.
It is when they want it to be.
They send mixed messages. That's the point, I think.
It is when they want it to be, but then they're also re-releasing All-Star Superman on Black Label, which All-Star Superman is the most wholesome goddamn Superman story you can read.
I think that's because what's-his-name has his Superman book on Black Label.
Superman Year One.
Yeah, Year One. What's his name?
Morrison?
Frank Miller.
No, Frank Miller.
Oh God.
Where Superman joins the Air Force.
Frank Miller's name.
I mean, we should all forget.
He has 2 comic books currently with DC.
I wish I could.
Yeah.
This is why I'm glad my local library has the streaming service where I could just rent these comics and not pay full-blown money for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hoopla's pretty great.
It took me a long time,
Hoopla's
but
amazing.
I'm finally on the Omni train. I just bought 2 more. I bought volume 1 and 2 of Johns' Green Lantern.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
Because I'm trying to get like that whole run, and then I'm gonna get 52 at some point because I want like the whole DC kind of run from that point.
Well, then you'll also need to get what is it? It's Brightest Day, I think.
Yeah, Brightest Day is the problem is
I've looked at that omnibus. It is so hard to find.
Yeah, the problem is like that annoyed me is that they overlap. Because like I have the Morrison Batman and it overlaps with Final Crisis. Like half of the first Morrison Batman is in Final Crisis.
Eric, is there a way to get that Brightest Day omnibus without going to Amazon for like stupidly cheap? Like just looking at it.
eBay.
Yeah, definitely go to eBay.
Yeah, that's where I got one of those Green Lantern ones. I got on eBay. Weirdly, I found stuff on Target. I found like one of the Green Lantern ones on Target.
Regularly. I've seen like crazy deals on Target sometimes.
Yeah, no, I sent you guys on the chat the one deal that they had, like buy 2 get 1 free on books and movies and whatnot, and that counted for omnibuses too. So yeah, there's a million different ways to find the stuff, John. It's just you have to be diligent and sometimes just accept that you're not going to find it right away.
No, it's fine. That's why I'm glad for Hoopla, because with Hoopla, I'll just read them from there.
Yeah, because like Mercari, I found some like steals. Like the one I got, like the 2 Grant Morrison Batmans and Doom Patrol. I think I got for like $140 or $150, which is like basically the price of that Doom Patrol.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah.
Yep.
That Doom Patrol book, by the way, if you get it, it is huge.
Oh yeah, I have it. It's literally next to my Invisibles one, and it's just slightly smaller.
It's like, fuck.
Actually, that Batman Omni I got for Christmas, I dropped on the floor at work, and someone was like, "What the fuck was that?" I was like, "No."
Oh well, that's an absolute. That's something that's a different world. Like,
my God.
Here, I'll take a picture.
That Brightest Day Omni is a fucking. I finished it, but it is a fucking monster.
Yeah, I have an Omni, an Absolute,
Blackest
Night.
Yeah, Blackest Night,
and a Platinum edition next to each other, and you can see the differences.
Yeah, but like Connor, that the Absolute you have, like that's DC's like top tier stuff. Like
I've never read Batman Inc. before, and this story is fucking nuts.
Yeah, it's Batman. Grant Morrison.
Yeah,
but it's like here's a Spanish Batman. Here's a French one.
You're also reading the second half of his run on Batman, so yeah, you're missing a little context.
Well, no, because I read Where Bruce Dies. I read Battle for the Cowl. This was all a long time ago, though.
Right. But the one you're missing is Batman R.I.P., which is where all those characters come back. I literally just read this, so it's where the whole Black Love thing, which is awesome, and where Morrison, it's like he does the thing that's so awesome, which is he brings in every continuity that Batman's ever had into continuity. So in the RIP, like they bring in like the rainbow suit Batman, like explain away, like he explains how all that stuff happened.
Yeah. Like the rainbow suit Batman is Batman Zur-En-Arrh, which is a backup personality he created in case his main personality was destroyed for some reason.
Because he plans that far ahead.
I gotta back up the backup plan.
So Connor, if you look at my picture, the Final Crisis and JSA are omnibuses. The absolutely Kingdom Come and Green Arrow are absolutes.
Jeez.
And then that Marvels thing is like the Marvels Platinum Edition.
That Final Crisis book looks like a fucking Bible.
Yes, well, it comes in like a sleeve, and it comes.
And you had this Green Lantern, Green Arrow, absolute. It's really good.
It's gorgeous looking. Because it's the what do you call it? Hard Traveling Heroes.
Yeah, it's Neil Adams' Hard Traveling Heroes. Like the fucking best.
Neil Adams is like
let me get a picture of that.
Arlen is completely lost right now.
Arlen's like fucking nerds.
But you do look that Angel is a pretty big statue that I got the first New York Comic Con.
Nice.
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna give you a picture of my Black
nice
Knight.
look. Angel looks like Conan O'Brien there, but he looks.
Yeah, that's his like weird, the red and white costume that he had.
Yeah, it looks like he's gonna do the string dance, and he's gonna.
It's a callback to his original costume, like or not original, but
his pre-apocalypse costume.
Yeah, back when X Factor or something like that. Yeah, thrilling radio.
Yeah, we're really good at this. We're the best.
The best. Hell yeah.
We're so good at this.
We had that whole new show set up, and then we had to cancel. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we could still talk about some of that stuff, but I really don't I
don't remember it.
Well, there's Amazon, well, not Amazon, but it's what is it? Seth Rogen and his producing partner, the guys who did The Boys, want to adapt Rick Remender's Fear Agent. Was one of the things that I saw. Which, if you guys have any way to read that, it's phenomenal. It's so good. Drunken space adventures.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That sounds
and
great.
Preacher, I watched all of Preacher, and that was pretty good. Did anybody
There's a
else
lot of good
it
comic book
me?
stuff out there. Even stuff where I haven't read it.
Well, I'm sorry, there was like 3 people talking at once there.
What just happened? What the fuck?
Yeah,
what were you saying?
I got really confused. There's just a lot of good stuff based off of comic books. Like I recently watched the October Faction. I have no idea if that book is any good, but the show's pretty cool. From what
that's the thing. Watched. When I saw the trailer for that, I figured that was right up your alley and probably Hunter's alley as well.
Yeah, I mean it's people hunting monsters. So like,
fuck yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not Monster Hunter.
No, it's like
no, it's not Monster Hunter.
It's hunting monsters, but they do like it's just a day job type of thing. And then they do a bit of a turn towards the end of the season where they kind of suggest that maybe they've been the bad guys all along.
Humanity was the monsters all along.
Interesting.
More in a German fascist kind of way.
No.
We're the Nazis. This is bad.
Oh. Wait, are we the baddies?
We're the bad guys.
These are the bad guys, yeah.
It kind of takes that turn. And it's like, all right, I see what you're doing here. And I'm kind of into it. Because they treat it so well. They do it so well. The turn comes in a very not logical. It just makes sense when it happens. It's not like out of left field. Because of how it's the world.
Maybe logical is the word you actually meant because you're secretly a Nazi.
Yeah.
Right.
While you're so into it.
You're not.
Yeah.
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 No, it's
yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was done.
Oh, I was just gonna say that premise is actually something I don't think I've ever heard before. Where like it comes out that these monster hunters are actually exterminating a race of creatures that aren't any danger to anyone. So,
yeah, it's interesting. They set up a character death that's very meaningful to one of the characters, and then you reveal that character was maybe like a serial killer, like he was a bit of a masochist, or sadist,
some sort of mad scientist,
sure,
who experimented on things that shouldn't have been experimenting on.
Yeah, I think I see where you're going with that.
so it's
and that guy then went to South America and swam around a bit.
Yeah, and then the Mossad found him.
Well, okay, so
no, the Mossad never got to him, sadly.
Okay, so Lou, you put the Sam Raimi story in here when Connor isn't here for me to argue with him.
You mean oh no, that's actually not the Sam Raimi story. You just thought it was. Yes,
I mean it is a story about. It's the story about Doctor Strange.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, until I get like an official confirmation, I don't care enough to really.
Yeah, I actually wanted to talk about more because we haven't talked about the Disney Plus ad, and
the Disney Plus ad was great.
Yeah,
the Disney Plus ad was they literally packed so much into a 30-second spot, and it's terrific.
I think the craziest part is like there's so much of Falcon and Winter Soldier, and yet I don't give a shit because of all the Scarlet Witch stuff.
Yeah,
so good.
Yeah, and I haven't even read the Vision family book that they based off of, but it did give me vibes of the Scarlet Witch book that they. I don't know if it.
Well, the Visions book is Tom King, which was that the Eisner one he won, or he won for Mr.
Or it might have been Mr.
Miracle.
Yeah,
but
I'm sure.
It gave me heavy vibes of that same Scarlet Witch book, which I adored. It was
that Tom King Vision run is fantastic.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. Is that the one where it's like the suburban thing? Because I saw for that one.
And I think that's what they're taking from, which makes a ton of sense.
It's really smart. I'm glad that they're doing weird things with it. They're not resting on their laurels.
There's like Archie Bunker like version of them.
Yeah,
that black and white like Leave It to Beaver.
I think what it's doing is just taking different sitcoms, and the one is very much looking like Brady Bunch. Like there is the one background, it's very much 70s Brady Bunch, and it's going to be 50s whatever.
Yeah, I see. That's the one I thought was Archie Bunker.
No, I think
I'm sure there might be one in there.
I can't see them taking Archie Bunker though. That seems like something that
is this the one
nowadays might not fly over so good.
I would assume that you do need to do one where you do need to do more of a modern sitcom with one of them, one of the more sort of self-aware things. So
you know what people are saying it might be a Full House reference because her sisters were on Full House.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh wow. I didn't even put that together, but yeah, that's smart.
Isn't her that's supposed to be Kimmy Gibbler? What?
What?
Where am I getting that?
That clothing definitely looks a little bit too modern for the Archie Bunker time period. That's the thing.
Yeah, that definitely looks like 80s or 90s.
That gives me like Married with Children.
I was gonna say I'm getting a Family Ties, Married with Children.
Yeah, I thought it was Married with Children at first, but yeah. And the other one is definitely like Dick Van Dyke.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the black and white 50s. Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Like Archie Bunker would not resonate with pretty much anybody nowadays.
Oh no.
Like, yeah. And I don't even mean that for the content. I mean just.
Well, the only reason I thought they did those live shows the last year, which if you haven't seen them, they were really good, like oddly good. Especially the Jeffersons one with Jamie Foxx was like really good and poignant, which is weird.
But that's the thing. I don't know. I feel like some of that stuff, at least like Jefferson and and like what was it? Good Times. Like those have a little bit more resonance just based on what was happening at the time when those came out. And I mean, they were the first really successful like all black led sitcoms.
Yeah.
So I can understand why they could have a little bit more relevance if they were to put something like that in. But Archie Bunker, like I just
only think because they had the one they did it was Woody Harrelson and Marissa Tomei did the live action thing, and so it kind of had like a little bit of a, I don't know. Right. That's just maybe because I'm old and that's what popped into my head.
Right. Well, and that's the thing. I think those two would be old enough to have watched it on a regular basis when it was on. But I mean,
I don't think Elizabeth Olsen is old enough. She's
no, I don't mean Elizabeth Olsen. I mean Woody Harrelson and Marissa Tomei. Yeah, like I don't know. The Archie Bunker, like that's something like I know it's supposed to be good, but I think I was even old enough to see it when it was near the tail end, and I just didn't care.
Was what, like early 70s? Like
mid to
Rob,
late.
Rob Reiner is a young man in that show.
Yeah, Meathead. Yeah. But the Disney Plus stuff, like I don't know. It all looks great.
And the Cap stuff, like seeing Bucky drop the bullets in front of Zemo, and the back of Cap and Falcon with the shield.
Oh, that wasn't Cap though. That was
that's the other Cap.
U.S. agent.
U.S. agent.
Yeah. Agent, whatever.
But I don't know if they're going to call him that. I bet you they're going to call him Cap.
I don't know though. I could.
Yeah.
I could see them going U.S. agent because Falcon will be saying Cap or whatever.
I think that's to me that's like what the whole thing of the movie is, that it's like there's two Caps. There's the government like approved Cap, and then you have Winter Soldier and Falcon being like, no, we're kind of like, the real Cap over here.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm excited. That's all I know. And when aren't they both coming out soon?
August.
So with Falcon Winter Soldier is August, WandaVision is December, Loki is spring of next year.
Okay.
Yeah, but they're still in between the movies because the only thing we're getting is what, Black Widow, and then is there any other movie this year?
Eternals.
Okay. Yeah. So it's like after Eternals we'll get
right. After we get Swole Kumail on the screen.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they gotta get that movie done before he loses that. So
they give us which just started filming, like that one little tease of Loki.
I kind of wonder if that was teased specifically for the Super Bowl or if that was just.
I bet they might have filmed that just for the ad, but like him in that jumpsuit is definitely a thing.
I'm just realizing, I think because usually Marvel's like 3 movies a year. This year is the first time they've gone back to 2 in a while, but I think that's mostly because of the shows.
Yeah, I think that's recalibration.
I think they're like 8 episodes each or something like that, or less.
I think it's
6. I read.
Yeah. I know Cap and Winter Soldier is supposed to be 6.
Because
Mandalorian Falcon, Winter Soldier, WandaVision, and Loki are all 6.
Yeah, and Mandalorian is the one that's 8, the season 2.
Yeah, what if is going to be 10?
What's animated? So that can
that makes sense.
And then everything else is kind of unconfirmed.
Yeah,
Arlen, I 100% agree though with it's a recalibration because with Endgame, like they kind of have to just be like, all right, we need to reestablish where we're going now because we just pulled off lightning in a bottle and we don't know if we'll ever do that again. So
and they are coming back next year with 4. So it's like we're gonna give everybody a little bit of a breather, and we're gonna come back very.
I think they're also like seeing what happened with, although it's a completely different animal, like with Star Wars, but like trying to control over saturating.
Right.
Helps that they're different things a bit, like they're different genres. But
yeah, I was gonna say I feel like with them, what helps is that it's different characters, different visions of a director. So it's Marvel so far has never felt oversaturated to me.
No.
Yeah, but we are in a bubble. We are very much in a bubble.
You say that, but I see
think we are.
I see teenage kids, and they are hyped for the movies. Like,
Sure,
they want that stuff. And
I
that's
would say that
I work at a school, and I work at a school.
That's another
every
bubble
single
altogether,
year.
So
I work at a school, and
Yeah.
every single time a Marvel movie or a trailer just comes out, all the kids get hyped.
Yeah.
I think that ties into like, you saw Harley Quinn, but like I literally have heard 0 people talk about it, and everyone's talking more like, oh, when are these, like literally when the Super Bowl ad came out, like I was at my wife's cousin's house and there's like kids there, like they know I'm the big nerd, so they're like, when is that stuff coming out? Like I really want it now, like give it to me. And I'm just like, oh, this thing. It's like the DC stuff, they're just like, oh, that stuff is always bad. And it's I'm just saying that's the like sentiment. Like it's gonna take Warner Brothers a while to wash off, and it doesn't seem it seems like that stink is still on them.
Well, it's the thing that Coppola said, where I made The Godfather and I can make bad movies for 30 years, but it doesn't erase those bad movies, and he's still gonna have to like exist with some of those real trash buckets on his legacy.
But that's the thing, like DC is fighting that battle backwards. Like they haven't managed to erase that stink, even with like Aquaman wasn't for me, even though a lot of people seem to like it. Shazam was great.
Sure.
But that
Wonder Woman.
Well, I even argue this. I'd argue they haven't had the all around just movie that works for everyone yet. They haven't done that yet. They've had movies where it works for a lot of people, but they haven't had the one where the people that really love Man of Steel and the people who hated Man of Steel both liked it. As long with everybody else that's in between on that spectrum.
See, I feel like Shazam was that, but it was so late in the game that it just like.
But it wasn't. It's not as. It was a successful movie, but it wasn't as successful. And again, this is why I say we are kind of in a bubble. Outside of the people in our bubble, nobody talks about Shazam.
Well, I think that's because there was already so much apathy towards DC Warner Brothers.
Absolutely.
I think that was like it was the best movie of like what has come out, in my opinion. And the problem is that like the track record was so bad at that point that like even though that one was the one that turned it, people were like, oh well, they'll like it's the movie that people will go back to years later.
So here's my problem with that. And again, I like that movie. It is the most like super kid friendly of all their movies so far. It is not the movie that's for my stepdad. Character on the show.
You say, and then there's like a shit ton of murder in that movie.
Yeah, but he was not into that. I'm telling you right now, he was not a fan. He was not into it.
Which movie? Sorry, had to just
Shazam. Like I'm talking about the movie that does get that. Like Marvel movies, even my grandpa doesn't hate them. He sees the value in them, and he is like a curmudgeon. He hated all the new Star Wars movies, like every single one of them equally, which is actually a position I can respect. Like, I can kind of understand that.
You like Thor too?
I think he's kind of, he can take it or leave it. He doesn't look at movies with like the same sort of, it's part of the brand, so I must like it type thing that some people have. Well, I didn't like Thor 2, but he thought the Captain America movies were fine, and he doesn't think the Avengers movies are the worst.
Like I would say, like I think a big part of that is like the brand is quality. So then, if even anything is not like, if you're like this doesn't work for me, but like I know it's good because all their stuff is said to be good.
Yeah.
Well, on the
I gotta say, the other big thing is that with DC doesn't have a Feige.
Yeah.
I mean, yes.
One of the big things that Feige is such a guy in that universe.
I think that's what hurt them in the very, very early stages. I am convinced at this point that James Wan and the guy who was running New Line, they are the Feige now.
That's fine. If James Wan and what about Patty Jenkins?
I think
she's kind of her
she has a lot of pull. She has a lot of influence, certainly. If they make another Justice League, I would be shocked if she's the director, just because she's a logical choice. But if you look at every choice they've made since that New Line guy, whose name I can't remember, started, it's all New Line people. or people who worked on James Wan movies. Every single one of them. Or they're people who are associated with the Conjuring verse or James Wan's production company. So to me, that's not nothing. That's an equation of some sort. That's somebody saying, well, we know how to do this. Let's take that and put it into these movies. And the movies have been better, just in overall quality, and been more liked by most audiences. But again, not the much wider audience, except for, I think Aquaman's their most successful movie to date.
$billion.
I think that has to do with Momoa a lot.
Yes.
Yes. Eric, you were also going to say something.
Oh, well, my point was going to be that, like, I think until Warner Brothers / DC can put out a movie like Cap Winter Soldier,
yes,
that's
what I'm getting at.
They're going to continue to fight an uphill battle, because Winter Soldier, not only was it a great continuation of the Cap story, it was also just a great espionage movie that appealed to an older generation, because I mean, it was a telling of one night of
what was a great action movie, period.
Yeah. But it had Robert Redford in it, which was a great throwback for people who grew up watching like espionage films with him in it, and also just his acting. And it was just a great film in general, and it showed that like Marvel would be like, hey, we can do something really well that's actually a fun action film and pull everybody in. And they did. And I have yet to see anything from DC that I've even been that hopeful about. Like as much as this new Harley Quinn movie, the Birds of Prey might be good. I just have no interest in it. I have zero interest in it.
I think that's what we're both sort of leaning toward. Crossover appeal, things that can bring in people that maybe have no interest in this stuff. Because Winter Soldier was that. I think that there were people who didn't care about Marvel before Winter Soldier, and they came in on Winter Soldier. That movie made Cap, not just Cap cool, but it made Chris Evans cool.
It was also it's a serious movie. Like it's not, but it still has superhero stuff. So it's like, it has like that great balance.
Yeah, it just threads the needle really well, and it's honestly, I would argue that I don't know if there's many other Marvel films that have even done that. Like Endgame and Infinity War were great, but I mean they were just here's a bunch of fan service.
They're a different animal. They're a giant size. They're like a giant size year end. Two of those kind of things. So it's like
the only time I mean, this is why I say 2014 is the best year in Marvel. The only other time I think that they had new people coming in to the club was with Guardians of the Galaxy. That's the only other
if you look at
where there was that much.
Well, no,
Black Panther, it's different.
I would say
there
Ragnarok
definitely was a segment.
Ragnarok's the other one.
I was going to bring up Ragnarok,
but
Ragnarok and Black Panther as well.
But if you look at what they did with that Captain America movie and what they did with Guardians, they went to people who weren't like, because it's the Russo brothers who the dudes from Arrested Development and
Community
and then when they went to Guardians of the Galaxy, it's like a trauma dude who's done like goofy ass shit, and then you go to Taika Waititi and you go to what's his name who did Black Panther.
Well, it's because Ragnarok's a fantastic comedy. Black Panther had sort of larger political implications.
But you needed to do that for that movie. Like it's the only way to do that movie.
Yeah, it would be a crime if it didn't have that.
And it not just does it; it does it in a way where like the character that you're, and we've talked about before, like the character that has the most sympathetic view is the villain. Like he's kind of right, like at all times in many ways.
The point of that movie is being like, we kind of have to take the villain and absorb his ideas and not ignore them, because that's what got us here in the first place.
And it was also like all of those movies had like the thing that Marvel has been great at, which is getting like their main characters are played by like not big names, but then their supporting cast are gigantic names. Because you had Robert Redford in Captain America, you had Glenn Close in Guardians, Black Panther had a bunch of people in it.
Yeah,
like Oscar
honestly,
winners.
yeah, I would argue that Michael B. Jordan is a bigger star.
Specifically. Yeah. Oh, he's a way bigger star in that. He was nominated for Fruitvale at that point, right?
Yeah, that's true. I think so. Yeah.
And Creed was a giant movie.
Yeah, Creed was a hit.
Considered.
Speaking of
Ragnarok,
speaking of MCU, because on the comic show we're reading the Ultimates and the references they have. First of all, I get the same feeling I get reading those comics when I do watch the first Avengers movie. Second of all, there are some references in those comics that are a little eerie given what would happen with the movies later on.
Yeah, because they have a whole conversation in the books about who would play who in the movies.
Yeah.
No, and then there's the part where they mention Robert Downey Jr. by name. I'm like,
I didn't realize that. I haven't read that series in quite a while.
Feige was reading at the time. That's why.
They also were like designing. The artists were designers after actors. Like, basically, I think like what Samuel Jackson like said. It's like, yeah, that's obviously me, and I won't sue you as long as if you ever make this, you have to hire me.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Well, I think that unfortunately, in a way, was what also turned Mark Millar into just the film pitch comic writer that he is now. But yeah, the Ultimates is 100% Marvel took their idea for a lot of the Avengers films and just Marvel universe in general.
Oh yeah, it's definitely like the skeleton that's built.
Yeah,
it's built on.
Yeah, the aesthetic that they sort of chose came from that book, and
it's, I don't know if we wanted to continue to talk about news at all. If people are tired and
the only other thing I wanted to talk about, if we want to talk about, was like this show.
Talk about what now?
The Superman Lois show, like, and the kind of a little bit of information.
It's CW, Eric.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we've talked about it in the chat. I don't know how many people really care that much other than me and Lou. So like,
Also, G.I. Joe Snake Eyes, I gotta say, like, it has a cool cast, but the people behind it have me worried.
It's
the director of R.I.P.D., which is a bad movie, and
that's
Red.
A movie. Yeah,
Red is
movie off.
Red is a mediocre movie.
Red is
fun.
I haven't seen Red in 10 years, so my opinion may be forfeit. I remember that movie being fun for what it was, and also
fun, it's also like nothing entirely special, which I feel like is the wrong way to go about for a G.I. Joe movie.
Well, quick side question: how old is the movie Red?
10 years.
Because that fits right into the stipulations you set, because that is based on a comic.
Yeah,
it's based on a Warren Ellis comic book. So,
but then the writer of this movie is the guy who wrote, and I quote, Jungle Book 2, Lion King and a Half, Pooh's Heffalump movie, Tarzan 2, Cinderella 3.
Okay, so John, here's the thing. I have no problem with saying that this director is a hack, because he is. Yes. Red is not the movie that I go to say that this director's a hack. It's everything else on his resume.
Yeah. Oh, no. That's, you know what? That's fair. That's fair, and I'll accept that.
It's like, it's like saying, well, Roland Emmerich's a hack, and then you point at Independence. It's like, that's not the movie I would point to.
That's fair. I would rather point at R.I.P.D. or the two Divergent movies he did.
Sure, exactly. Those films are garbage.
And that disappoints me, because with G.I. Joe, I have a little more faith. It's like, after All Star Pictures did so well with Bumblebee, it's like, all right, cool. Now apply that kind of thinking.
So here's the thing: Bumblebee has that X factor, the director in that case, and also
it's a good director.
Yeah, and I don't trust Paramount, because everything they do comes out of desperation, and things that you do out of desperation rarely ever work out well.
Paramount does rarely, like with the exception of maybe the Mission Impossibles and Annihilation, they kind of just hit the button.
Well, that's interesting. So there's one specific exec who's responsible for that. She's the same exec who's responsible for Mother. So it's one of those things where like you can't really look at Paramount as an all-engrossing thing. But I'm just talking about their blockbusters, their big tentpole arena stuff. Every choice they make is like, what's the coldest, most cynical thing that we can do to make money? Ninja Turtles, but it looks like a Transformers movie. Which kind of
look at this year. This year alone, you have Sonic, Quiet Place 2, SpongeBob 3, Top Gun 2, Clifford the Big Red Dog is, I guess, the thing that's coming out.
And that's like them being kind of not as cynical as they have been in the past. But they're still very cynical picks.
We're losing money, so.
Also, I'm pretty sure, based on the trailer for Top Gun 2, that movie was already made and it was shitty and it was called Stealth.
I was gonna say I totally Top Gun 2 is even coming out, and I'm amazed that Tom Cruise would even do that when he can just continue to do Mission Impossible movies.
I think it's less stunts, and he's like 60 now.
He also likes that director. Like when he finds somebody that he likes, he hangs on to them for dear life and absorbs their soul.
It's the same director.
Because they have a really low theme. That's why.
Exactly. Yeah, I was going to say, it's how does the Church of Scientology blackmail them so they have to continue to work?
But like, he also was
Christopher McQuarrie is like stuck with this dude now for life.
I mean,
it's also like
I'm okay with that though.
He wants to do all his old movies because what's the other one they were trying to reboot recently? Or redo a sequel.
Risky Business?
Yeah, Risky Business was one.
Really?
I actually feel like it was.
I think Erik was joking.
I have no problem with
Days of Thunder?
I have very little problem with him going back through his whole catalog and being like, make a sequel to that. But you have to go through his whole
3 or
catalog. Yeah. Give me Legend 2.
Do it. Give me a good version of Legend on a 4K disc, please. Fuck's sake.
Eyes Wide Shut 2. There we go. That's the right one to go with.
Magnolia.
Based off of how I know that movie can go some places.
A few more good men.
Oh God.
Oh, yeah. Instead of Born on Memorial Day.
Interview with Another Vampire.
Well,
no, I would love that actually.
Well, there had been talk for a while about there being a sequel to Live, Die, Repeat, Edge of Tomorrow.
No, that's still happening.
Oh, it is. Oh.
And I think I'm looking like, it's the same director, different screenwriter. So I think,
it says rumored.
Yeah, I mean, there are a couple of things we don't need.
The director confirmed that the script was finished.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting that Tom Cruise did that movie because that's a really good movie.
It's a fantastic movie.
Well, it's because there was like he did like 2 weird sci-fi movies in like a year and a half. Because there's
he did them close enough together that one poisoned the other.
Oblivion.
The other one.
Well, speaking of Oblivion, directed by the director of Top Gun 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Joseph Kosinski.
Oblivion isn't good, so there we go.
The guy
Oblivion's a very pretty movie.
The guy who made Tron Legacy, Tron 2.
Yeah, Tron Legacy again. A very pretty movie with a very pretty score. That's about all I can say.
I have a soft spot for Tron Legacy.
I like that movie as well. I think the score and the things that I like about it cause me to sort of overlook some of its flaws.
I think it was also kind of ahead of its time, weirdly.
I think so too. I think
that's the big problem with it.
Well, it's something that on podcasts that I know Connor and I listen to, Laser Time, one guy Chris who hosted it talked about was that Tron came out right before Disney bought and Star Wars and all that. Mm-hmm. So it was their last gasp at trying to get boys into stuff.
Right.
And then they're just like, oh wait, we have all this other stuff. Who gives a Ron?
Well, it's that and what do you call it? Tanked.
Which really sucks because
John Carter of Mars,
John Carter of Mars, the other one.
Lone Ranger.
That one also tanked.
Lone Ranger is actually pretty recent.
What's the one I'm thinking? The one with the ride. Tomorrowland.
Oh,
that's the one that tanked that killed all that. No,
that's the same year as Star Wars. Actually,
and Tomorrowland wasn't. I wouldn't say that was geared more toward boys or anything like that. Mm-hmm. It was
It was like their own IP that they were trying to do
I
something.
mean, it kind of sucks that Tron.
It was also
bombed.
them. Yeah.
But no, I was gonna say like it sucks because the animated show that's on Disney Plus that aired like
Legacy.
Uprising.
Uprising,
yeah.
Which is fucking dope, and more people should have watched it because the animation style is amazing.
Oh, Arlen, what were you gonna say about Tomorrowland?
I was gonna say that was them betting on a director who had done well for them. That was
because Brad Bird had been talking about like his next project, but wouldn't go into what it was for the last time.
Yeah,
and it came out, and I didn't mind Tomorrowland, but it definitely was not what I wanted out of Brad Bird.
I've heard it's like strong.
I heard it's like the trailers like did not represent what that movie is at all.
Yeah,
in some ways, and in some other ways, it was exactly what it was. Like that's a hard movie. If I'm a marketing person, I don't know how to actually sell that movie to anyone, because it's just not an easy to do.
There's a weird like Randian feel to it in some points.
Yeah, and also there's this aspect that always sort of sticks in my mind, which is that it kind of tries to like take pot shots at Mad Max Fury Road. I don't know if it was doing that directly. Well, yeah, because of the whole post-apocalypse thing where he's like, we're obsessed with the post-apocalypse and apocalyptic storytelling, so what do we expect? Because John, Lou, do you know what the big MacGuffin of the movie is?
No, I've never seen it, so like no, I have no idea.
So
I don't care.
Spoil it, yeah.
The MacGuffin is a machine that takes thought and makes that thought real. Basically.
The miracle machine.
Right. Yeah. So when all of Earth feels that they are doomed, they create their own doom, essentially. So everything bad that is happening because we're willing it into being. It's The Secret, basically, as a like it's The Secret as a machine. But he does explicitly point out like post-apocalyptic storytelling, zombie movies, and stuff like that.
That's so funny. Like as having just finished Final Crisis, like literally the miracle machine is like the end of it, and like the whole idea is like there's only one person that they like anybody's like that will trust to use it, which is Superman. And they're like, oh, what was your wish? And it's like, oh, what do you think he wished for? And it's just like a happy ending. That's all he says.
Forgot about that. I don't know, like that aspect of Tomorrowland, and just it feels like it makes a sudden left turn like near the end of the movie, and you're just like, wait, no, because like everything else leading up to that was actually pretty fun and great.
Also, George Clooney is in love with a child robot.
Yes.
Who looks like a child.
Wait, he's a robot?
Yeah, that was
no, not George Clooney.
No, he's in love with a robot.
I mean like the character in the trailer is a robot?
No. There's another character that
there's another character you don't see.
Yeah, there's another much younger female character. And the idea is that he fell in love with her when he was a young boy. But they never backtrack on him being in love with the robot as an adult. And I think they have a kiss. I'm not.
No, they don't.
Sure if I'm
they do not.
Making that up.
You're making that up. Right. Yeah. You're trying to be salacious.
I wasn't. Here's the thing. I don't think I was intending to be salacious.
But like,
I just remember things wrong sometimes.
Have you ever like thought back to the movie Big and been like, oh yeah, that woman has sex with like a 12-year-old kid in Tom Hanks' body multiple times?
Yeah.
I still haven't seen Big, but goddamn you all.
What? I think about it all the time.
Eric, when that came out, you're like Tom Hanks' age, right?
Basically, yeah.
Remember Eric seen 2 world wars on the Spanish-American War.
Yeah, I was.
Specifically the Spanish-American War.
I was here before Columbus came to America.
Exactly.
No, he came on the ship.
Anyway, give me Collateral 2 on my Tom Cruise rant. Collateral 2. Give it to me.
Are we
he comes back as a cyborg.
Listen, I have a theory. Tom Cruise is not real. He's just a rolling green screen effect.
Oh, they made that movie with Al Pacino.
No, because the
It's
amount.
called, what's it? Solaris?
No, that's the one that's based on the Russian film. No, Savan or something like that.
Yeah.
No,
oh my god. It's so
because the movie, because the amount of stuff that Tom Cruise does, Mission Impossible 2 is what drove it over the edge for me.
I've never actually sat down and watched that. I just know it's terrible.
I did, and
I'm sorry.
I regret it every day. That's a.
What was John Woo thinking? Is basically the impression I get.
No, there's a part in that movie
That's what
where
he was
Tom
thinking.
Cruise literally flips does a whole 360 flip and shoots two guns at the same time.
Where they're doves.
The only good thing
Yes,
about
there
Mission
are
Impossible
doves.
2 for me is that, and this is why I love Christopher McQuarrie so much, is he makes a lot of references to Mission Impossible 2 in Fallout, and I appreciated that he made those references because it means I can imagine him sitting down and rewatching Mission Impossible 2 and suffering as I had to suffer.
Oh god.
But
The only good part of Mission Impossible 2 is the Metallica song.
Well, it's that, and like the fact that he's mountain climbing at the beginning of Mission Impossible 2, that pays off in Fallout. Like, great, good job. That's fantastic. Yeah.
That makes sense then.
Yeah, and the way the final fight, spoilers, between him and Cavill is kind of a recreation of the fight between him and the bad guy from Mission Impossible 2.
Yes.
In a weird way. Like there's
shot much better and more exciting.
Yes, much better. But that's the thing, like he looked at all the movies and said, these are the essential elements of this character, and these are the things that carry over, and he just like put them in bold print in his movies. And that's why those two movies are so much more beloved, I would say, or just more appreciated by general audiences. Great. I love Christopher McQuarrie. What are we talking about?
Tom Cruise.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think we're closing out.
Yeah, I think so.
We probably should.
Yeah, probably a good idea. I mean, I could go on and John Carter got screwed or John Carter got screwed. I'm not gonna do that.
Oh no, okay, we can talk about that real quick.
I'm still so bothered that movie didn't do as well as it should have done, because
I heard it's not
so
bad.
good.
It's not bad.
Good.
It's good
so
enough
good.
that if they made a sequel, I would have been excited for it because it's a strong foundation for a series. If they had,
I think the problem is like nobody knows about John Carter. Like,
the problem.
No, the problem is nobody knew what the movie was. Period.
Exactly. Marketing fucked that movie because they tried to sell it as this
action movie,
time period action film, which it is an action film. They tried to sell it as a romance. They tried to sell it as a sci-fi movie. They didn't settle on setting one particular idea in people's heads, and that fucked that movie.
Yep. Exactly. And there's a lot of other stuff. Like, we weren't in the moment we are in right now, but the fact that the lead character is a former Confederate soldier, that's something that, like, it doesn't help. It doesn't help your movie more so now than it did at that time. But yeah, the fact that it was so focused on that character.
That's the thing. Go ahead.
What's his name in Twilight? A Confederate soldier?
Yes, but he's not the main character. He's not.
No, I think
he's not
Edward.
No, not
really?
Edward. Okay, I know far too much about Twilight. Jasper.
Honestly, I'm hearing. Arlen, you're scaring us.
What? No, I've seen Twilight 3 because it's a David Slade movie. Call back to 30 Days of Night. But yeah, no, David Slade is a fantastic director, and when I heard he was directing a Twilight, I was like, oh, he might make one of these that's not awful. He might make one of these that is a competent film.
You were very wrong.
Lou, okay, are you serious right now?
No, I was just making a joke to Twilight, but like,
good, because
the last one is fine.
I would
the last
argue...
one is garbage. The last one.
No, I remember I was at some kind of special movie event. They were showing a bunch of movies, and they had Twilight showing early. I snuck in. I saw the final battle. Like, oh, this is cool. And then it was all a dream. I'm like, fuck this franchise.
Exactly. That's why it's bad. The third one has werewolves and vampires fighting. The only problem with it is that it's not. There's no blood. If it was like all in on that concept, it would be
It would be Underworld.
Yeah, it would be good Underworld.
Well, so since you obviously some of you have obviously seen these Twilight movies, it sounds like, does Kristen Stewart actually get her what was it, not her spine, but her rib cage or something broke? She and Edward were having sex, because I remember that was one of the big things. It wasn't
having sex; it was trying to have her baby.
Yes, the baby has to rip out of her,
and I'm ashamed I know that off the top of my head.
I remember reading articles saying, like, how are they going to adapt this part of the book, and like they would have like the entire paragraph 2 or 3 about A, the sex scene, and B, then her having a baby.
Oh, so well, it's the same problem they have with Superman all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, Kryptonite Condom will kill him. Yeah. But back to John Carter real quick. Your whole about John being a Confederate soldier, like, it's such a minor part of that story.
It is.
Though.
I'm just saying I don't think it helped. I don't know if it was a selling point.
I don't think that's the thing. I don't even think that was something they had to advertise at all. Like, I don't even remember him.
I'm talking about media stuff. I'm talking about stuff outside of the control of Disney.
But I'm saying, I don't even remember him being a Confederate soldier.
Like, yeah, I know. That's the thing.
Because they paint him as like, no, he's friendly with the Native Americans. Right. Like he's not.
They do a Josie Wales thing with him. They very clearly make him that person who
he's just fighting just because he has to, not because he wants to be in the army. So I don't know. I think it's a bit of a misnomer to say that is something that could have tanked that movie. I think it was just
I think it could be an element. I don't know if it really was. Again, it would be easier to say right now. Like there's a segment of the audience that would be like, we will never watch a film where a Confederate soldier is at all depicted as good ever. Period.
Yeah, true.
And it sucks because Andrew Stanton kind of revealed his ideas for the trilogy he wanted to do.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, and apparently he wanted to do the Gods of Mars and the Warlord of Mars. They would be based on the stories. Yeah.
I mean, I'm into that. That's like,
and the link I just sent you guys Twitter pics.
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't exist anymore. God damn it.
I don't know. I'm just hoping that having a sandy red planet isn't going to tank Dune as well, because that's something that's been
I want that movie to succeed, but at the same time I get the feeling of another Blade Runner where it's going to be very niche.
There's so many people in that cast though that I feel like
they have to market it right. They need to market this right.
Yes,
that's what scares me. Warner Brothers would not market it right.
Well, that's something that's been kind of, I don't know, a urban legend in Hollywood, at least, is like anything that has Mars in the title is bound to fail, and that was why John Carter wasn't called John Carter's Mars.
Yeah, well, that's because two studios made 2 Mars movies at the same time, and they were both bad.
Yeah.
Can I think of them? It wasn't Ghost of Mars. It was
Mission to Mars.
Ghost of Mars was around the same time.
Was it?
That's the Ice Cube one, right?
And I think I don't know if Red Planet ever had Mars in the title, but they leaned heavily on the fact that it took place on Mars.
Which one has what's his name from Forrest Gump?
Gary Sinise.
Mission to Mars.
That one's Mission to Mars.
Yeah. That movie sucks.
Tom Sizemore is in Red Planet. I don't know how I remember this.
Because Mission to Mars ends with it being panspermia, and Gary Sinise goes off with the giant glowy aliens. I think.
Yeah,
Mission to Mars is the one where the cast is insane because it's Gary Sinise, it's Rhodey.
It's Andy Dufresne.
Yes.
Yeah. It's he's the one that
I'm looking at this right now. It's Gary Sinise, Tim Robbins, Jerry O'Connell's in it.
And it's De Palma. I always forget De Palma directed it.
Oh God, that's right.
Yeah, because Don Cheadle's the one that they're going to rescue his mission fucked up, and he's the only one.
And 2 of the writers are the guys who wrote Predator 1 and 2.
But I'm pretty sure the guy who wrote one of the guys that wrote Predators, that's like his only good movie. I can't remember who it is.
And then one of the other writers was the guy who wrote. Oh no, he didn't. I thought he would wrote in one of the Marvel movies, but no, he did Speed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, which person from Speed?
Graham Yost, the writer.
Okay, yeah, because he's the one that had nothing to do with
Morricone did the score. Oh, poor Neo
Yeah.
Morricone. That's upsetting.
Well,
yeah, one I'm thinking of is...
he was half alive at that point.
No, he's still
alive,
on the way out the door.
Chuck Farrer, after he wrote... before Red Planet, he did The Jackal and Barbed Wire, and afterwards he did... he wrote Darkman with Sam Raimi.
Let me tell you something. What a career this man has had.
When we do Barbed Wire on the show, that's gonna be a riot. That's gonna be a real good.
When we do Barbed
Wire,
we're all gonna be talking. When we do Barbed Wire, we're all gonna be talking about it, and Arlen's is gonna be in the background cackling hysterically.
Well, so that's one of many movies. Another one being Elektra that I've fought to try and get on the show, where it came to me at a very specific time in my development.
If you can't put Turtles 3 on this show, I'm vetoing Elektra.
Can I just say both of these people in this movie wrote garbage? Because the other guy wrote Lethal Weapon 4 and The Devil's Advocate.
So on the Chuck Farrer thing, he also wrote Virus, which is an interesting film,
and Shooter,
which Virus is based on a comic.
I did not know that was based off of a comic, but that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and he also worked on Shooter and the Green Hornet. But
Arlen, I'm still fighting for this Turtles 3 thing to happen.
We can do Turtles 3, but if somebody is like, it's better than Turtles 2, I will quit the show.
No, there is no. It's not. It's the fact that they're studying with the same costumes.
If somebody even does it as a joke, I will. I will leave the show because it's not true.
I would argue that Turtles 2 and 3 are rendered disqualified from being covered on the show because they're not directly based on any of the comics, while Turtles 1 you can actually trace it back to direct scenes from the Eastman and Laird comics.
That is a fair argument. I do think that we should do them all for just as a completionist thing, but I do not fight you on that. You
can miss me with that Turtles 3 bullshit.
Well, I think the best way to do it would be to do.
I'm glad that somebody else is on my side about Turtles 3 because, I'm not into it.
Yeah. I think we should probably wrap up, guys, because it's
on that note,
rambling and jumping from thing to thing to thing. Yeah,
I mean that's been us, but it's more obvious now at this point.
Yeah, well,
we're slowly losing
off. Yeah,
we're slowly losing it. 2 people are gone.
Yeah,
right. It's exactly. It's a lot like The Thing.
We never intro. We never intro ourselves.
So which one of us is going to be Childs?
Probably me because I've been drinking this whole time. So
there you go.
I have two.
No, that would actually make me McCready. He is hammered in that movie.
Yeah.
If you just watch paying attention to how much alcohol he's drinking.
He pours JB Scotch all over a computer. His only form of entertainment other than drinking in the goddamn Antarctic.
Exactly. Like when you see him doing the tape scene, he's got a half a bottle left because he drank the rest of the bottle already.
Yes.
I actually never put it together because my wife's uncle worked in Antarctica for like a bit. And all he says is all they did was just like do their job and then get like blackout drunk because there's nothing else to do.
That makes sense.
It's got to be depressing as fuck. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but it's like
especially
you only
when
work
you're
there.
A pilot.
I think he was an electrician, so he only worked. I think he did like 4 months, and then you come back because they're like they don't want you doing more because you'll go crazy.
Right. Yeah. Snow blindness and all kinds of other stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, take a snow life. Yeah. Yeah. I guess on that note, we'll. But you know what? Whoever wants to go, I don't care. It doesn't make a difference at this point.
Yeah, I have another podcast. I assume you know what it's called by this point, so go listen to that. I have no idea when this is going up.
Man,
but at the time we're recording this, the top 10 of the decade episode is coming out at like 3 a.m. So like 6 hours from now. So
I did not even realize that wasn't out yet.
Yeah. So go listen to that, and yeah, that's the thing. Anybody else?
You know who I am, to find me on What's Said Thing, where you can find me, and the other place I'm around on Facebook. Fuck all of you.
And there it goes. Okay, so we just got 100 subscribers on YouTube, and there it goes.
Yeah.
I had to.
We already got the custom URL, bitches. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm John Scott. Or no, fuck it. I messed this up. I'm too tired. God damn it.
You're Scott Johns. Is that what you're saying?
Scott Johns, sure, whatever. Fuck it. I don't care anymore. You can find me bopping around the Fam Zone podcast group. We did the show with the comics and the thing. We're gonna be covering the Ultimate soon. We just haven't all read it yet. And yeah, fuck it. I'm tired.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm on that show with John, and if you have any comments, you can send me pictures of like how much you hate Moon Knight to young_Kami on Instagram, because he's a pretty terrible character. So you should share in my hate of him and send me pictures of people beating the shit out of Moon Knight.
I wonder if that's enough to wake Hunter out of his sleep and be like, "Who said something about Moon Knights?"
No, it might get one of his secondary brains going, but
right.
Yeah, he has 7 hearts, 2 brains, and 3.
It might cause him to start having a nuclear meltdown, so
exactly.
Might destroy it.
I don't know. I don't know if he even listens to the whole thing or if he's going to, but if he does, he's gonna be like, "Wait, what the fuck?
Who has awakened me from my sleep?"
I hope like the 3 people that listen to this just send him pictures of that, and then he's like, "Why are people sending me shitty?"
No, it's just gonna be Leo. He's just gonna send 99 pictures of just getting wrecked.
Honestly, I think I'm one of those 3 people that listen to the show, because I think I'm the only one who's on here who actually listens back.
I download, but don't listen.
I tried once, and my ear started bleeding when I heard my own. So that was time. Fun.
My uncle asked me once if what's your podcast called? Maybe I'll listen to it. I'm like, oh well, it's called this. Give it a listen if you want and see what you think. It's we're just goofballs. It's exercise in chaos more than anything.
Yes, my brother has listened before, and his comment was, "You guys talk about dicks too much."
Wait, no, we don't.
No,
we don't talk about dicks that much. I need to know what episode he was talking about.
It was a comics episode, and I don't remember what it was, but I think we were talking about the
that's why you clearly talk about dicks too much on that show that I haven't been on. I need to be on as the
it was something with the Hulk. And
no, fuck you, Dad.
As the dick police.
No, I think I remember. Was it the episode that we called an obscene amount of cum?
No, it was an older episode.
Were you guys calling that Savage Dragon?
No, we were talking about what's his played Green Goblin, Willem Dafoe.
Oh, Willem Dafoe.
Oh, Willem Dafoe's dick.
And his unnecessary large dong.
Yeah.
That was the first comics episode I was ever on. That's right.
Yeah. Because I think we talked for like a good 10 minutes about like the idea of the quote. It was mind-bogglingly big.
Mind-bogglingly large, or something to that effect.
Oh God!
I would imagine that would have been like the Lighthouse featuring Willem Dafoe's big swinging dick.
Right, and
that's the nickname for his dick is the Lighthouse.
Exactly.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.